Hi.
Hi.
I accidentally had some TikTok shit on here.
What did you say?
That little clicking noise was like a
Oh.
TikTok.
I thought you said something about your titties.
No.
I was like, what? Sorry. Tatas.
Yeah. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of CO and Rome.
This is Tio.
And this is Rome, and this is episode number 46.
Yes, it is.
Yo, before we jump into this, best podcast of 2018.
You know?
Undisputed. If you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at coandrome@gmail.com. Also want to give a big thanks to our partners at AFGO Clothing. If you want to get yourself a CO and Rome t-shirt, crew neck sweatshirt, or a hoodie, head on over to afgoclothing.com.
Yes, the discount code to get you 15% off is CO and Rome 15.
Yes. Head on over if you decide to cop something. Let us know. Shoot us a picture. Give you a shout out. I'm saying. Yo, how you doing, man?
I'm stuffed.
Yeah.
I just stuffed the shit out of my face.
Yo, this chick just smashed the shit out of some fucking Panda Express.
Yes, I did. I was hungry. That's the first meal I actually have today.
Yo, I don't really fucks with Panda Express.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you feel like it's not real, like, quote unquote,
I feel like they ain't got no rats running in the bag.
That's what makes it's called gourmet Chinese food. So that's why they don't have any of that.
Nah, I don't know. I feel like I want to just accidentally,
I feel like
see a rat running in the back.
Accidentally?
Yeah, I feel like I want to just walk in, order my food, and see something scurrying in the back and be like, was that a rat?
Nah,
that wasn't a rat.
I like it. I feel like everything tastes clean and fresh and
really?
yeah.
It's not like the Taco Bell of Chinese foods?
No.
Really?
I don't think so. Definitely not the Taco Bell. Maybe it's like I'll think of something and I'll get back to you. But I wanted to say like Chick-fil-A would be like the better version of like McDonald's or Burger King.
Okay.
I feel like Panda Express is the better version of like regular chinos. Here. Now, if you were to compare it to New York, it's completely different.
So you mean to tell me that if we did a side-by-side between Panda Express and Walk and Roll or Hunghwa or China Express or any of these fucking...
It depends on what we're comparing, though.
Okay.
If we're comparing tastes like Chino, then yeah, the Hunghwas and stuff are gonna win. Yeah, it's gonna win. But like cleanliness and like everything's fresh, it hasn't been sitting there, then yeah, I think Panda Express would take that. Just saying.
Okay, maybe I'll give them a chance one of these days.
How many times have you ate there?
I don't know. I think the thing that fucks with me is I've always viewed them as like a mall food court food.
Yeah, I can
and then
see
they're in a
that.
standalone. I feel like you ain't gonna trick me.
But you know how long that Panda Express has been there?
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't be seeing a line wrapped around that bitch though.
I was there today. That's all that. That shit was good.
All right. So yeah, got some things I want to go over with you guys. Some of it in movie and TV, some of it in celebrity gossip.
Yep.
And then I also have a race-based question.
Okay.
There's something that I noticed that Black people don't do as much as white people. And I want to ask you if you agree with me on this observation and why you think that this is the way it is. So I'll save that for last. I think that's going to be an interesting conversation.
Okay.
All right. So movies. I saw Equalizer with Denzel Washington, the second one. I like the first one better. But I'm mad at Denzel, taking on this whole action approach and the whole, storyline of, I like the character, the story behind the character, but it was so. I wouldn't say you must rush out to go see it, but.
Do you feel like he plays the same character in every movie to an extent? Like a Will Smith almost?
I don't feel that he plays the same character, but I feel like he struggles in
changing his style.
His style.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Lorna in Orange is the New Black, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Yes.
And how the way her character talks on the show is nothing like her real life talking voice.
Correct.
Denzel was like, you guys, you know, he does this thing where he like tilts his head to the side when he's talking to you, and then he does this, like, he's like a larger, blacker Joe Pesci with a less annoying voice.
You think so? That's a crazy comparison.
He's like, who you talking to like that?
Yeah.
You talking to me? Like, and then he like squints the eye a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he does this thing
I feel like
he does
tries
with every character.
I feel like he like tries to expose his hood a lot in his characters when he comes to playing a role.
Now, what's interesting is that I saw him on this, like in this interview with Jamie Foxx. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think it's a web series that Jamie Foxx does where he like sits in a lounge like sofa like area and he interviews celebrities. And Denzel was one of them. And I feel like what I saw there in the interview is what I see
in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he became an actor by luck. Like, he was just in a restaurant. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. He was just probably in a restaurant chilling, being himself. And there was like an agent standing in the corner and saw him like being himself. And he was like, you know what? There's potential here. What you did right now, that's what I want you to do all the time.
Now, here's the thing. Like, Johnny Depp can morph into weird shit, obviously.
I love him though.
He can, and that's like, wow, that's like,
it takes a lot of skill. Yeah.
You know, Denzel, even when he played Roman J. Israel in that movie where he was an attorney in the 80s, he looked different. His body, his glasses, the afro, the whole look was different. But it's like, you still the same, talk the same hand mannerisms. He does this weird shit with his mouth. I mean, get serious like a lip. You see what I'm saying?
You look like a little mouse.
Like, he does this little mouse thing. He does this little mouse thing with, and I feel like he does that in every movie. So I guess with everything I'm saying, it's like, okay, he plays the same character in every movie. He doesn't have a lot of acting range. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I can see that. So that if there was a character that needed to be done a specific way, and they knew that Denzel is this way, they will always go after Denzel.
I wish we could do a skit of like Denzel playing all the characters that Johnny Depp has done, but make them all talk like Denzel.
Dude,
like
that's some Saturday Night Live type shit.
Denzel as Pirates of the Caribbean, Denzel as Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
No, that would not work.
Denzel as like every
Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
That would be great.
He'd be like, look at my hands.
He's like chopping up some vegetables. He's like, everybody eats.
Yo, that would be great. That would be great. But you know, it was cool. It was a nice thing to catch. Now I gotta, you know, give Jonathan, you know, my husband, a little shout out.
Okay.
Because he booked Mission Impossible without, you know, asking me if I wanted to see it, and I was being a bitch, and I was like, how you know I want to see that? Right? So I went, and that movie was good as fuck,
I'm
bro.
not a big Mission Impossible.
Yo, that movie was good as fuck. Like, I went into that shit thinking I didn't want to see it, and I was in there like, oh my God.
Now, have you watched the other ones?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Like, this one was really good. I got it. I mean, I enjoyed it more than Equalizer, and I wanted to see Equalizer, and I didn't want to see Mission Impossible.
That says a lot, actually.
That says a lot. I think you guys should check it out.
Okay.
TV.
Can't
speak on this in too much detail because it just dropped, but Orange is the New Black season 6 is now back out on Netflix.
Yep. We know a lot of you guys are probably going to be binging because Lord knows we have.
Yeah. I mean, totally different feel, but I feel they've been really good about changing the feel of every season since the beginning.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it.
So far, I'm enjoying it as well. I think what I'm hoping does not happen is I hope that they don't start introducing so many different characters and in return start diminishing some of the other characters that we know. Yeah, that we've known from the very beginning. Because that's where I tend to like lose myself in a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. I gain this relationship with the core characters, and then once they start cutting them off, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't have that concern yet.
Yeah.
I don't have that concern yet with this, but I have had 2 shows that I like loved, that when they started doing that thing where they started introducing too many new characters, and taking the attention off the core members, I was like, I don't even want to watch this show anymore.
One thing that I do enjoy about so far what I'm seeing is the fact that, because if you guys have seen the last season, this wouldn't be giving away too much. You know that in the last season, everyone got separated because they were going to Max and they were putting people on different buses.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I do enjoy is that because they're not all together at once, it kind of gives you time to focus on these significant characters that maybe didn't have enough story time before, and you get to see their past and their flashbacks and things like that, which I'm enjoying.
I think that's a really good way of them keeping us engaged as well.
Correct.
You know? So, yeah, so far so good. I can't wait for us to kind of be able to talk about it in a little more detail once we know people have had a chance to watch it.
Did you notice that there's a lot more episodes this season than there have been in the past?
No, I've kind of just been watching and not even realizing what episode I'm on.
Yeah, I have been doing that too, but when I first went to go log in, you know, it shows you at least in Terrarium it does, and I was like, damn, this is a lot more episodes than it did before. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yo, talking about Netflix, I was going to save this for later, but I'll just plug it in right now. I noticed that ever since the Roseanne backlash, that a lot of changes are happening. And I feel like people are looking at the network like there's some coons or some shit. But
think so?
Well, Shonda Rhimes has signed a deal with Netflix. So she's going to be taking like Grey's Anatomy, I think, and some other shit to Netflix. And then I just saw a headline that the creator of Blackish, Kenya Barris, just signed a really good deal with Netflix as well.
Damn.
So,
and if I'm not mistaken, I heard that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are doing something with Netflix.
Yeah, they penned like a documentary deal.
Is it about Trayvon Martin?
No, I think they just signed like a producer deal that they can put out whatever they want or some shit like that.
Go ahead, Obama.
Which, is it Robin Givens or no? What's the lady's name that's like on one of those morning talk shows? I forget her name. She's the one that like survived cancer or whatever.
No, I don't know.
Anyway,
sorry,
wasn't planning to talk about her today, but she signed a similar type of deal, but I don't think it was Netflix. I think it was with either Showtime or HBO that she signed up like a producer deal that she can like kind of bring her own shows to the platform as well. So
it's a smart move.
It is a smart move. I do have 2 separate thoughts on this.
Okay.
One, the Roseanne thing. I do feel it's very possible that her tweet was not racially motivated.
I agree.
It's 50-50.
Having some background on it now, you think that it definitely wasn't intended to be racial. It
could have been. It could not have been. I don't know. But either way, let's say that I'm a writer for ABC and they're in hot water because of the actions of Roseanne Barr. Maybe it's just better for me to keep my nose clean and move my shit to another network. You know, it doesn't necessarily say, oh, I'm leaving you because you support Roseanne, but it's I'm leaving you because I really don't want to be a part of this bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Very interesting to see those changes. Let's jump into some celebrity gossip.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into this.
All right. First thing, I'm pretty sure you want to talk about it. Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
So Demi Lovato, basically, it's been leaked that she was rushed to the hospital and she received some sort of medicine that's used to treat heroin overdoses. But it doesn't just treat heroin overdoses. It treats other types of overdoses as well. So when news initially leaked, it was assumed that she suffered a heroin overdose. But her reps are denying it and saying that it is something else. However, it's reported that a lot of reliable sources have put out there that she has been struggling. She hasn't been sober as she's claimed. And she's kind of just back down in that rabbit hole of using and abusing. So, I don't know. I've never really been a big Demi Lovato fan, but I know that you are. So what are your thoughts?
So I heard the same thing, obviously. And as far as her reps denying it, I don't know, because it can be other things. I know that a lot of the things that she has struggled with in the past has been alcohol, cocaine, Adderall, and bulimia. So she binges and purges a lot. And and for about 5.5 years, she was sober as far as drugs, but she admitted to, still suffering from bulimia episodes. So I do know that this has been she's been struggling with addiction since she was like 15. So I don't know what it is. If it is heroin's making a fucking comeback and knocking everybody out.
We were just talking about this shit like a few episodes ago.
Yes, it's crazy. But I feel that she's kind of been telling us for a minute now that she has kind of relapsed, because I think that she dropped a song a few months ago called Sober, which pretty much is asking for forgiveness from her fans, that she didn't mean to kind of slip up and go back into the same way of things. She apologized to her mother. She was just going on, and then here we are today. Now, as far as how she's doing, we haven't really heard anything. We know that she's stable, that she was breathing when she got to the hospital, and that they gave her the Narcan, I think it's called. But as far as her being released, I haven't heard anything.
I think I saw something that she was back home, but that she's recovering. But either way, my prayers go out to Demi. It's really sad to see people who are so young going through these types of addictions.
25.
Yeah. I'll share a little piece. So with me, I've been mentally dealing with a lot of different things, I guess. I get so frustrated with all my medical issues. And let's say, for example, I had that really, really bad migraine situation yesterday. I get so frustrated when I have migraines because I a lot of times don't know what triggers a migraine. It just comes out of nowhere and it just ruins my day, and I fucking hate them, know? And sometimes my thoughts are not good. And I feel like if I didn't have a good control over my thoughts, I could easily become a drug addict if that was in me, or if I had a history of addiction or whatever. Luckily, I don't have. I've been really good with not becoming addicted to things, but I know how easy it is to get into a mental space that, even if everything around you seems good, financially, career, otherwise, if you got something going on in your head and you're just not happy with your life, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like a disease in your brain that just makes you just look at things differently.
I actually just had a conversation about Demi and this situation with someone, and they said something that didn't necessarily sit well with me, but I kind of understood where they were coming from. They were basically saying, oh, did you hear about Demi? And I'm like, yeah, it's so sad. I hope that it's not heroin, if it comes out that it is, or if it's anything else, really, because obviously she got rushed to the hospital for a specific reason as far as drugs. I hope that she gets better, and she's extremely talented. This girl can fucking sing her ass off, so I hope it's not a waste. And the person's like, well, I do agree with you. However, that goes to show that she's not as strong as she makes herself seem. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you mean? And they basically were saying it in the sense of oh, she's a weak person. And I'm like, why is she a weak person? And their response was, we all go through things and we all have our own struggles, and a lot of us don't turn to drugs because of those struggles. And I'm like, yeah, but there's more factors to it than just struggles. We all go through shit. Do you feel like it's a willpower thing or being stronger than another person? Or I think that it's kind of, her dad struggled with addiction, so I think it's a hereditary thing as well. I think that people tend to look at it as a weak or strong thing when a lot of these things are genetics.
You basically took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
I don't think that it's really fair to judge addicts, right? Because sometimes they're just wired a little bit differently, whether it's based off trauma or their life experiences, whether it's genetics or whether it's, there's just so many different factors, things that set us apart from others. And I've been around people who've had addictions. In fact, I had someone really close to me who had a heroin addiction, and I've seen her clean herself up and things like that. But I mean, it took a lot. It took prison. It took a lot to get that person clean. You know what I mean?
Mind you, Demi Lovato struggles with bipolar disorder, and she's been very, 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 upfront about that.
Listen, when it comes to mental health issues, addiction issues, all those things, again, from someone who doesn't struggle with that, it's so easy to be on the outside looking in, thinking like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. If I can do it, anybody should be able to do it. But again, we're all so different, and genetics are a motherfucker.
Yeah, they are.
I think that people underestimate like genetically from DNA, like how much of an impact that has on you, just even from personality traits.
To the point where I've seen, and this is no lie,
hand mannerisms, weird ass little things.
Rome, I have seen kids that have never been around their parent, whether it's mom or dad, so they don't know how their mom or dad acts, and I have seen them do very similar mannerisms and actions and way of speaking, way of being that is just like the parent that has never been in their life. And I'm like, how the hell?
It's crazy.
Genetics is crazy.
It's crazy in a sense, like there's very specific mannerisms that like my dad's side of the family has. And if I'm with another family member, like one of my dad's brothers or something like that, like there's one brother in particular that my dad and him, they don't really see eye to eye and they don't get along well. But if I'm like with my uncle and I see him doing certain things, it reminds me so much of my dad.
Yeah, and you're like, how the hell do you guys not get along?
It's like you guys are like exact, I always gotta get spiritual. Generational curses are a thing.
Oh, I believe that.
You know what I mean? And I know some of y'all probably don't subscribe to it, so I'll just say this: if it's something you're interested in, just Google it. But they definitely do exist.
But I also believe that as much as they do exist, we also have the power as individuals to break those cycles.
I definitely agree with it, but it takes a lot, and if we look at addiction as a generational curse, or as a curse in general, because I do feel that it's a disease in a sense.
Bars.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a disease in a sense. Then, I mean, it's really not as easy as breaking those shackles. It really takes a lot of determination, willpower, a spark to really make you just say no more.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a couple times of falling down in the same quote unquote cycle to kind of like get a clear view of what it is that one needs to do.
Hopefully she gets a handle on this shit before it kills her, yo.
My prayers are out to her and her family.
Word up. Yo, R. Kelly came out with a 19-minute song called I Admit It.
What?
Did you hear it?
No.
Oh my God. I only got halfway through it.
Type shit?
No, it's him like basically talking about his general experiences. He's like, I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it.
But what is he speaking about?
He's talking about a lot of shit. So one of the things that he kind of touched on in the song, we've heard rumors about him not being literate, like he can't read and write. And he said, I admit that when I was at the Grammys that I couldn't read whatever was on the teleprompter. I admit this, that, and the third. So he goes on and says, one of the things he says is that he's never been with underage girls. He's never broken any laws. But he says something about the parents of a young girl was pushing their daughter of legal age to him. But then when they didn't get what they wanted out of it, then they try to turn it into something else.
Ooh, well, that might be perception on his part too, though.
That may have been one of many experiences.
Exactly.
But just because you drop a 19-minute song, Kels,
doesn't mean we believe you.
Don't mean that I believe you. I do commend him on admitting a lot of things that, we've been speculating on. And he talks about Wendy Williams.
What?
He talks about a lot of different things, but
I need to listen to this.
I didn't listen to the full 19 minutes because I just don't got time. I don't got time.
You don't have 19 minutes to give Kels.
No, I don't.
I get it.
It's like he's playing a little violin and I don't want to deal with it. And talking about how he had the wrong people around him and how he's not getting the support he deserves. And it's a lot of crybaby shit. You know what I'm saying?
Woe is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
And his wife, apparently, ex-wife, responded with a remix.
What?
I didn't listen to that, but it's a lot of mess going on with that.
Shit's getting real out here.
Apparently.
Speaking about getting real, though.
Yeah.
Do you remember last week when we were talking about the Tekashi 69 and Nicki Minaj song?
Yes.
Did you see the video?
Yes.
Oh, I have so much to say because I'm so confused.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I finally saw the Tekashi 69 video with Nicki, and I'm confused because from the very beginning, this nigga's licking the shit out of this ice cream intro to the video, and I'm like, well, that's different. That's a little weird, whatever. I didn't try and put too much attention to it. Maybe he was doing it kind of playfully.
Mm-hmm.
And as the video continues, I see him sucking on so many different popsicles throughout it. Mm-hmm. I figured he would be more on Nicki and like, you know, it was weird. Like just watching him sucking popsicles throughout the whole video in the background.
I have to pause you.
And then every time he took a bite out of the ice cream, he would like smile to show his rainbow grill, and there'd be nothing but like white shit all over his mouth. It literally was bugging me the fuck out.
Really? These things did happen in the video, but they didn't really stick out to me.
Oh my God.
It was like they were in Candyland.
It was weird. I'm going to play it again when this finishes so that you can pay attention to what I'm doing. What I was paying attention to. I don't know if it was just a CO thing, but it was really disturbing me. Like I was like, I couldn't even look at Nicki at one point.
There was a part where she was going to lick the ice cream at the same time with him and Tekashi. They were sharing an ice cream cone. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a significant age difference between these two, and that made me feel weird.
I think that the significant age difference is like, what, 12, 13 years?
I know he's like, is he even 20 yet?
I think he's 20. I think he's 20 or 21. Let's look
it up.
And
she's older than us.
Okay, well, we can find out right now. But I don't know. It just really rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like for someone who's so trying to be manly and thugged out and hood, for him to be like licking on popsicles and ice cream that way kind of threw me off.
Now
he's 22 years old.
He did say, I saw a headline that said that Nicki made him change his outfit for one of the scenes in the music video. I wonder if she had a lot of creative control over this.
It did have a lot of a Nicki vibe to me. And she's 35. So 13 years.
So there's a lot of people who aren't supporting this song. The song's called Fifi, by the way, for those of you who want to check it out.
It's whack. The video's whack. I'm sorry. In my opinion, the song's whack. The video's whack. He's whack in this whole situation for what he's doing. Nicki's whack because her
bars are really, really
not
trash.
Only were her bars trash, but I never would have thought that she would have teamed up with someone like him. And their whole interaction during the whole video was weird to me. It was like almost like they weren't even comfortable together doing the video.
I think that if her bars were fire, I could have accepted this. But the bars are super trash. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are against them joining forces completely because there's allegations about him being with an underage girl.
Correct.
And then people have an opinion about her supporting her brother, who I believe was convicted on some pedophile charges.
Correct.
So they're like, oh, if you support this song, you're supporting a pedophile and a pedophile supporter. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not even going to talk about my brother because I would hope he would never, ever do something like that. So I'm just going to throw a hypothetical. If I had a sibling who was convicted of pedophilia, while I am completely against pedophilia, it would take a lot for me to completely sever ties with a sibling.
I want to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, just because although my siblings like are my everything, like me and my brother were actually just having a conversation about how he's like, no, because I told him, I was like, yo, when you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you you're wrong. That's it. Like, that's all love, though. It's not because I'm trying to shit on you. It's because it's all love. And he's like, so you're telling me if we're out in the street and some shit pops off and me and somebody get into it, but you know that the reason why we got into it was because I did something or said something that was wrong. You're going to sit there and call me out? And I was like, hell no, I'm going to bump with you. But then when we get in the car, I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to be like, yo, what the fuck? You fucking stupid. That shit started for no fucking reason. Blah, blah, blah. That's different to me. I'm going to ask questions after that. And I'm going to bump with you right then and there. But if you get charged with pedophilia and I am seeing that everything that has come out is kind of like undeniable. I have a kid. You've been around my child. I'm going to have to cut ties because at the end of the day, I'm a mother first. Mm-hmm. I'm a female first, and I am your sister after all of that.
I can respect that. I guess my thought is like, you know, let's say hypothetical brother, right? Mm-hmm. You do some shit like this. I'm not going to help you find the best attorney to defend you in this. I'm not going to be like, it's okay, this will pass. I'm not going to pacify the situation. Nigga, you going to do your time. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there will be boundaries. Like, no, I don't want you to be around my kids. No, I will not bring my kids here to visit you. If you ever see daylight again, I don't want you spending time with my children.
But that's cutting ties to an extent.
Mm-hmm. I think it's establishing boundaries, but you can still be my brother.
Oh, of course.
And I will still, visit you. And I want to know, I care about your well-being.
I'll reach out and ask you every so often how you're doing and stuff.
Yeah, I'll visit you.
I don't know. There's something when it comes to kids that are so like, when I look at kids, I see them as such innocent beings that don't necessarily have this ill will of anything towards the world. So to know that someone can take advantage of them in that manner, and we have all experienced things to a certain extent that we know are not appropriate. Mm-hmm. So to think of like someone continuously doing that to kids,
it's sickening.
Yeah, I don't have any type of pity against people that way.
Listen, I've been sexually abused as a child, so I totally get that it's sickening. Now, I do feel there is something mentally wrong that would allow a person to touch a child. There's something mentally wrong with you. But at the end of the day, I think that person's still a human being, and let's say you do 25 years, whatever, like that's a very long time. I can't say for certain that I would completely turn my back on you, never visit you in prison, making sure that like, how is your health doing? Are you like just even lending you an ear, someone you can talk to? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you and be like, I don't support this shit, and you need to do your fucking time, but I'm still your sister,
I don't know. It's hard for me to...
It's very difficult. So I guess I say all that to say this. When people call her a pedophile supporter, is it because you expect her to completely turn her back and be like, fuck my brother, I ain't never talking to that nigga again, I ain't never visiting him in prison again? I feel that that's not fair. Just because she visits her brother in prison,
I don't think that was just what was happening. I think she did hire a team to be with him for court.
Right.
She also was going on platforms that were media driven, saying, my brother is innocent, he didn't do any of this, and blah 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 blah. And I think that it's smart with charges like this, so that especially when she's in the public eye, she should kind of be quiet.
Yeah, not say
anything, and kind of like, let the justice system do its thing. I think that the way that she approached it was kind of like
too involved.
Yes, okay. too involved.
Yeah.
If she would have taken a backseat and let shit played out and then gotten her own answers without being like, oh no, my brother, that's like when your mom, sticks up for your, I don't know if this is in your family, but like when my mom sticks up for my brother and I know damn 100% that he's wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this bitch don't even know what the fuck's going on and she wants to say that he's right. No, I think that sometimes you just need to take a backseat and kind of let things play out.
While on the topic, this is a smooth transition to the Charlemagne issue.
Okay.
I need to bring that back up.
Yes.
First of all, I had a very interesting text message conversation with someone who listens to this podcast.
Okay.
I want to give this person a shout out, but I don't want to say their name just in case they don't want to be brought up. But you know who you are. And I don't know if I want to say maybe I owe you an apology because we were having the conversation and I didn't have all the facts.
Okay.
So now I have a little more facts and kind of want to just thoroughly talk about the Charlemagne situation a little bit more. Okay, so we were talking about the Charlemagne thing, that basically there's some accusations that are made against him about some sexual misconduct with a minor. Okay, all the headlines were saying it was a 17-year-old allegation, but I got to be honest and say that I never actually read these articles in detail. Well, I got an opportunity to read one in more detail, and apparently the person, the victim, allegedly victim involved, was 15 years old, and he would have been in his early 20s at the time. Now, it said that they took a look at the case again recently and did revisit the fact that none of his DNA was found on or inside the victim at the time. And not only that Charlamagne was very cooperative with law enforcement in every way throughout the situation.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, the girl even decided to try and take it all the way to the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. And the whole DNA thing came out saying that there was nothing there.
Right. Now, what I will say is that I can admit I have no way of knowing what really happened. Mm-hmm. Could something have happened to them and them still not found DNA? Absolutely. But the thing is that it's very difficult for me to find myself saying I don't fuck with this nigga if I don't really know what happened. Now, if we go down the road and more allegations are popping up, I'm going to have to start looking like, yo, what the fuck is going on, you know? But as of right now, it's very difficult for me to say. But I hope he didn't do it. And if he did do it, I hope that the victim involved gets the justice that they deserve. So
100%.
I'm going to be fair in that way. Now, in terms of the Spanish Fly incident, that was a separate incident. And I wasn't clear during the episode. It kind of looked like both incidents were connected. Mm-hmm. But what it was the victim from the court situation
brought up the Spanish Fly conversation.
She brought up a conversation he was having about Spanish Fly, and it turns out that the Spanish Fly incident happened with a woman who is now his wife. Mm. So his current wife and he were on the Breakfast Club. They called his wife and talked to her, and she was like, I was coherent, and the issue is that Charlamagne, you don't fucking tell stories right, and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. I know he's in hot water. I wonder what type of impact this is having on his career at this point. You know, I still look up to Charlamagne regardless. Let's say regardless if he did this or not. I'm not saying that I support him either way, but that doesn't take away the ways that he's inspired me in my career in terms of broadcasting, as an entrepreneur,
as his hustle
in the entertainment. Like, I respect the hustle, but again, if he did do it, I do hope that whatever victim or victims get the justice they deserve. But as of right now, I still feel like I don't have enough information to form a strong opinion that I don't fuck with him.
I agree.
And I still stand there. So I just wanted to follow up on that, because I know us having this conversation, it provokes thought. Absolutely. And I'm super open to those conversations. And, you know, hopefully I can better figure out how I really feel about this, because I feel like it's still cloudy for me.
And I feel that just because if we were to ever find or hear something out, which is a perfect segue, because I think that did Nicki Minaj's brother ever get charged?
I think he
and
did.
Prosecuted?
I think he did. Okay,
so for example, this is a perfect scenario. So if Nicki decided to go so hard for him in the very beginning by, you know, getting lawyers for him, and then going on public platforms and saying, oh, my brother didn't do this, blah, 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 whatever. I think that if it ever comes to the point where you are proven wrong, it is so admirable to stand in your own words and eat them and be like, you know what?
Keep that same energy.
I fucked up. I was wrong. I made a quick judgment call and decided to say this when I shouldn't have. The justice system did its job, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
Be just as vocal.
Just as vocal as you were in the beginning. Don't go silent now. So if in the long run, Charlamagne the God then turns out to be found guilty, or something comes out the woodworks that shows otherwise, I think that we can stand in our own words and be like, you know what, this is fucked up, and give him the same energy that we give everyone else in this situation.
I'd be like, you know what he did in his past was fucked up. You know, it's unfortunate that it was dug up and it's impacting everything he's worked so hard for, but right is right, wrong is wrong,
and that's what
a nigga gotta pay his dues.
Amen.
You know what I mean? I still admire him for his work ethic, but all that fucking pedophilia shit, like, I don't fucks with that.
Word up.
You know what I mean?
Keep that same energy.
Hey, it is what it is. Anyway, What else I got over here? Yo, Movie Pass, right? So apparently there was an issue where people had difficulty purchasing movie tickets with their Movie Pass. So for those of you who don't know what Movie Pass is, it's kind of like the subscription that you pay like
monthly,
like $10, $20, something like that. And they send you like a debit card, and then you can use that card to buy movie tickets at select theaters, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So AMC pulled out a Movie Pass. That was the first drama they were dealing with. So recently, I think this week, what happened was people were trying to buy tickets with the Movie Pass and the transactions were declining. Mm-hmm. So Movie Pass said that it was an IT glitch, but it's been revealed that the reason why the cards were declining was because they ran out of money. But they blamed it on technical issues. The Movie Pass outage isn't a glitch. It needed $5 million to pay its partners.
What? Mm-hmm. So they was just getting declined out here.
How do we know who to trust when it comes to these membership-based programs? I mean, the ideas are great, but if you don't have the capital or you don't have the resources to really pull it off, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's scary.
I hope that everybody's able to cancel these things and not have any sort of
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. We stopped Movie Pass. We now fuck with the AMC has their own thing now.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jonathan. He's the one that deals with all that shit. But I would have been pissed if I went to buy a movie ticket and my shit wasn't working.
That's crazy.
And then I find out that they lied.
That means that every month that you've been paying this membership, like what's been exactly what's been happening?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Cardi B ditches the Bruno Mars tour to spend more time with her baby. What you think about that?
I'm mad at her, honestly.
I ain't either.
I'm mad at her. I feel like from what I read, she was basically saying like, you know, I had this thought in my head where things were going to go a certain way and I was going to be able to tour with my baby and everything was going to be good to go. And now that she kind of sees what mommy life really is about, because I think people expect it to be one way and then they get surprised and it's like, holy shit, this is completely different. I think it's a good call for her. I think she's a new mom. She's kind of adjusting to things. She understands now that it's not necessarily the best choice to kind of take a 6-8 week old baby on a tour, on a bus with a whole bunch of people that are going to be in and out. The baby doesn't have, you know, her shots. Like, it's a big thing. So she made the right decision for her family.
It's a lot of pressure too, because you got to think that she's got a big team behind her, especially like a team with the tour. A lot of people that would have made money off of that type of project. Yes. And when you're dealing with that level of responsibility and knowing that that type of decision is not going to just impact you, it's going to impact fans, it's going to impact workers, all those things. A lot of times people are like, there's no way that I can't do this. You know, I already made a commitment.
Right.
I applaud her for being brave enough and bold enough to say, you know, I understand the impact this is going to have on everyone, but being a mother right now is more important. So kudos to her.
For sure. Especially since technically I would still consider her new in the game.
Yeah.
You know, in comparison to a lot of people that are out here, I feel like it shows a lot of character, especially since people see her as this, you know, out there crazy chick from the Bronx. Like, it shows a lot of her character to be able to say, you know what? Even though the money's good and the platform that I have to be able to, the opportunity that I have to be able to be doing this right now, I'm going to take a backseat and take care of my baby.
I think there's still a way for her to be successful.
For sure.
Without necessarily going on tour.
For sure. She is, I think she was a persona, a character before she became, you know, the rapper chick, the love and hip hop chick. Like, she was already popping on Instagram way before that. So with her videos,
Drake has a really successful career and he doesn't do interviews like that. He doesn't really like cover all his bases in terms of being in the public eye. I know being in a tour and doing an interview are two different things, but I do think there's a way where you can still have a balance with your career. You know, if tour is not in the works right now, she can still pump out good music, still step away, maybe shoot some videos.
Yeah.
You know, keep us engaged. But
I agree.
You know, I'm happy for her.
Me too.
What you got over there, Ming?
I don't have anything else on pop culture. If you have anything, you can go.
Well, here's the thing. I saw this guy online today. His name is I Am Mo Show. And what he does is he makes like videos where he raps with a cat. And he has like 5 or 6 cats. And he puts like gold chains on them and a little hat. And he makes songs with them. It is fucking hilarious. So he does this thing called Beautiful Cat Lady Wednesdays, where he features like women on his Instagram page who are like cat ladies, right?
Okay.
But I noticed that most of them are white. Now, I get it. You know, it makes sense. But I want to know, why don't more black people fuck with cats? I feel like
that's actually a thing.
Yeah, I feel like we like dogs more than cats. And I'm just sitting there like, why? Why are we like that? Why don't we fuck with cats?
Lesbians fuck with cats a lot too, though.
Really?
Oh my God, yes. It's so weird.
Oh my gosh.
It's the weirdest thing ever. Like, I know a lot of lesbians that are obsessed with cats, and they even like incorporate it in their like verbiage when they speak, like meow, like it's just so weird. It's
now,
so
you
weird.
Hate cats.
I hate cats.
Why?
Okay, I hate cats for a few reasons. First reason is because they always seem really sneaky to me. Yeah. I feel like they're always up to something, right? Second of all, I heard one time someone say something that made a lot of sense to me, and it only, fueled my dislike against cats, which was a cat never looks at the person that feeds them. They always look down. A dog always looks at the person that's feeding them, which goes to show where their loyalty lies. They know they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. Cats don't give a fuck. They're like, nigga, just put that food in my bowl. I don't give a fuck who put it there. I'm going to eat this shit. And if I got to turn on you later, I still will.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things that really perpetuated my fear originally. You ever seen the movie Sleepers?
No.
Was it Sleepers or Sleepwalkers? Sleepwalkers. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so scary. It's like this son. It's really incestual too. It's this son. Yeah. It's this son and this mom who somehow become cats at certain point of the night. And no, I'm serious. I'm serious.
I was not mentally prepared.
Their face turns into like cats, and they hunt people and stuff like that. But they have like a love thing going on or whatever.
What the fuck,
I'm serious. So I was watching that movie one time when I was younger. I was probably like 11 or 12, and it was in VHS. And I woke up while the movie was still playing, but it was frozen in a specific part, and it was the part where her face had changed into a cat. And ever since then, I hated cats.
That's funny.
But I wonder if you bring up a really good point. I wonder if if it's a minority thing, like that we just really don't like cats.
Now, I had a cat once.
Did you like her?
All right. It was a guy and he was big as fuck. He was a 13-pound black cat.
The fuck?
And the only reason why I ended up with him was because the person this is for my first engagement, white dude, right?
Well, I mean, that goes to say a lot.
And he when we broke up, it was a situation where he couldn't take the cat with him. So we were together for quite a few years. So I was like, yo, let me fucks with the cat. You know what I mean? But he was an asshole. Would never cuddle with me. Wasn't nice to me.
Cats like to be left alone.
Only fucked with me when he wanted some food. And sometimes I would come home and find cat hair on my kitchen counters, which means he was up there. Sneaky. So you're right about that. He was not nice. I felt like he didn't care about me at all.
They're selfish.
But I feel like there's some good cats out there.
Like, think about it this way. If someone breaks into your house, who's more likely to lunge at the burglar?
The dog, obviously.
Exactly. They're more instinctual to protect you, where a cat's going to be like, I'm out.
Yeah. They're going to be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Exactly.
Damn.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, I want to hear from all the cat lovers out there, because we have such a slighted view on cats. If you're a cat lover, tell us why you love cats so much. I want us to kind of expand our horizons a little bit and figure out what we're missing.
I also want to know if it is like a white lesbian thing, like white people and lesbian like cats so much. I want to know why that is.
Maybe you should reach out to your community and ask some questions.
They don't even know. I've asked. They don't even know. Every time I ask, I'm like, why do lesbians like cats so much? They're so cute. First off, they're not even that cute to me. Like, if I see a puppy face and a kitten face, like, yeah, the kitten face is cute, but the puppy face? Come on.
Yeah.
And like when a cat licks you, their tongue is really rough because they're constantly like licking themselves. Yeah. A dog's tongue never feels that way.
I don't know.
Okay. Anywho, you have anything else for pop culture?
I'm done.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done.
Have you ever like met anyone, like ran across anyone that is so much like you that it weirds you the fuck out? And it's almost like, is this like how people view me, the way that I'm seeing this person right now? Is that how the outside world sees Rome?
Man, I don't think I've really met anyone that reminds me of myself so much.
Or at least in the way that you think.
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Dude, there's this shorty at my job. And she actually was one of the people that was in the interview room when I applied for this current position.
Mm-hmm.
And like from the very beginning, like I was like, you know, she seemed a little standoffish, whatever. And the more I get to know her, the more I realize how much we think alike, to the point where, bro, the other day we were both about to say something and we did the same exact mannerism at the same exact time that we went to go say what we were gonna say. You're so stupid. I'm gonna say this. Bro, I'm telling this story and I see Rome twitching back and forth and I'm like trying to not pay attention to her, but she starts texting me and I see her, right? So I'm like, what the hell? Go, nigga. I'll keep going here.
I'm just gonna
She texts me saying, I have to poop so bad. Go.
All right, you guys, I'll be right back after this. Beep, boop, boop. Hey, guys, we're back. Listen, I just want to apologize for that. I've been holding that pain in my tummy for a long time.
I think like I should ask you this question that I asked again because I don't think you were thinking clearly.
Okay.
Have you ever run across someone that you have...
Oh, I thought you were about to ask me if I have IBS. That was going to be like, no. I don't know.
No, because I asked you that question before you left, but you were like in a zone where I didn't even know who my friend was for a second.
You asked me if I ever came across someone that was so much like me that I'm like...
It weirds you out. Even if it's just the way of thinking. Like, holy shit, we think a lot alike.
I don't think I've experienced them.
Okay, well, like I was saying, there's a shorty at my job that I feel like we think so much alike, to the point where last week something happened where like I looked at her through the corner of my eye,
mm-hmm.
and I seen that she was looking at me through the corner of her eye too. And I was like, what the hell? So I was just like weirded out by the whole situation. So I walked away from the group in which we were having a conversation in. So I walked away and walked back to my desk. And as I'm walking back to my desk, she starts walking back to her desk. Now our cubicles are right across from each other.
Okay.
So like, she's like, yo, what was that look about? And I was like, dude, I was about to ask you the same thing. What was that look about? And she's like, no, I'm so confused. And at the very moment, we both put our hands on our head. And she was like, at the same time that I am, we were like, nah, because you looked at me. And then we like stepped back and like looked at each other and busted out laughing, bro. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Now, how, like, do you guys like really engage with one another a lot? Have you known her a long time?
I've only met her since we've been in this department together, and we don't necessarily, she's a supervisor, so she's kind of like busy doing her own thing. I think that maybe if we interact, it's when we're having like leadership type summits or meetings, like things like that. And like we'll talk every so often, but we don't sit around and have conversations for hours.
Now, do you know, other than the mannerisms and things like that, do you notice any other differences between you guys in terms of background, anything like that?
One thing that I have found out as of late is that we know a lot of the same people. A lot. Like too close, too many for comfort. Like I'm like, how have I never met you, but I know everyone else that you hang out with? It's weird.
Are you guys close in age?
No, she's actually younger by 4 years.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, girl.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe she's your son, bro.
My son.
You know, we out here.
Son and he's
I'm saying, maybe she's your son.
I don't know. It's weird, but it's cool because I'm like, I actually kind of like you. So if we're similar in that aspect, I can see why people like me too.
I think you're the only person that, like, I feel like we're on that same
wavelength.
wave, like we say a lot. We finish each other's sentences.
I think that's the history, though.
Yeah, but I just think that's from time of us spending time together. It's not that often that I come across someone and I'm like, you're me.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the first time that happens to me, though. I don't know. Like but when I say like you're me, I don't even mean it like you're me now. Like she is me 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like in 4 years when she's my age now, I can see her being me.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying?
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe you guys are meant to be friends.
Maybe. But I tell her all the time, I can't be her friend. Because we're so alike.
Yeah.
I tell her all the time, like, whenever she does something, I'm like, yo, we can't be friends outside of work. And she'd be like, why do you always say that? I'm like, bro, because if we were to be friends, I think it'd be a serious problem.
Yeah. Is she cute?
She's cute. Yeah, she's cute.
Do you guys look alike?
No.
Oh, okay. That would be really weird.
No, I'll show you do I have a picture of her? I don't know if I have a picture of her. Anyways, yeah, but I wanted to get your feedback on that because I thought that was weird. I wonder if you know how they say that everyone has a twin in the world?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's real.
The only other person that does certain things like me that I didn't know that they do the same things that I do is my brother. We have a few weird things that I've found out later in life that we both do the same. And when I find those things out, it freaks me out.
But that's genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we both like cold pizza. If there's pizza in the fridge, we would rather eat it straight out the fridge than to heat it up in the microwave.
That's weird.
I know. But when I found out that he does it too, I was like, yes.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would ever eat cold pizza.
I like it.
Like room temperature pizza is one thing.
I could eat it straight out the fridge.
Nah, fam.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
No. One other thing that I did want to talk about, which we have brought up kind of in the past, but I kind of wanted to retouch on it.
Okay.
We have had situations where we look at people kind of sideways when we know that they have been involved with someone and then been involved with someone who is close to that original person or even related to.
So, for example, if you're with Bobby and you and Bobby break up and then you start dating his cousin or his homie or something.
Correct.
Okay.
And we have established that the older we get, the less that should matter. However, how much...
Circumstantial.
Right. That's my question. What is the circumstances? How is it circumstantial? Because if it was me, I'd feel some type of way.
It's a case-by-case thing. I mean, if I were with you for 3 months and the reason why we broke up was just because we didn't click, and then 3 years down the line, I just somehow stumble upon your cousin, your homie, whatever, and we definitely click, whereas you and I never clicked. We don't have any kids. We weren't engaged. We weren't together for years on end. I feel like I can explore that a little bit. Now, if we were married, we have kids, and then, you know, your homie and y'all still homies pulls up on me, I'm going to be like, there's no way, bro. There's no way.
Wait, repeat that last part again.
So let's say you and I were married. We have kids. We have since gotten a divorce. And your homeboy, who is your homeboy then and is still your homeboy now, tries to holler at me. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
But if you and I only dated for a few months, we simply didn't click. We broke up on amicable terms. And then 3 years later, your homie hollers at me. I'm going for it.
Okay, so switch the situation a little bit different. Let's say that you're kicking it with somebody.
Yeah.
Let's say that it seems like it's going somewhere. Some shit pops off. You met the homeboys when you guys were clicked up. Y'all don't work out. And then the homeboy's kicking game at you, but it's still the homeboy.
Listen,
that's messy.
I could tell you what I would do.
That's messy.
It's messy. Okay. But here's my input, and I'm just keeping it a buck at this stage in my life. It is messy.
Expect a lot of shit to come from it.
Yo, you're pointing a pen at my face. Sorry. It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
I'm so sorry.
This bitch is gonna stab me in my fucking eye with a pen.
It's my Professor X thing. Go.
So, yeah. Here's the thing. If me and Guy were never like in a committed relationship and we were just kicking it, and now that doesn't work out, so then the homie tries to bust a move, I mean, I might.
I wish you guys could see her face right now.
if me and the homie, it's starting to kind of go in a certain direction. Here's my thing. I don't owe the nigga I was kicking it to with. Like, I don't owe him shit. And if we were meant to have something, we would have had something beyond just kicking it.
Church.
So I don't really owe you anything.
Church.
Now, if your homeboy comes at me, repeat it. He came at me.
Right.
I'll be like, all right, going into this, we're having some fun. It's starting to get serious. And we're like, well, time out. You know me and your homeboy had a thing, right?
Right.
Since you coming at me, I think it's on you to kind of sort all that out because I'm not with the drama. You should have a conversation with him. Let him know what your intentions are with me and make sure that that's all squared away so I don't have to deal with the drama because you came checking for me.
Mm-hmm. What if everybody's just having fun and it's not something that is possibly going somewhere?
Then I would say,
who's that fall on?
So first of all, I feel like being a hoe is all about who you tell your business. Right? So I'd be like, listen.
Niggas gossip more than females, though.
So here's how you do it, like a real boss. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You'd be like, listen, man, I didn't come checking for you. It's no disrespect towards you, but I just want to make it very clear out the gate that I'm not the chick that's looking to fuck with the homies. Mm-hmm. Okay? I ask of you that whatever happens between us, that it stays between us because it just seems like the right thing to do. The moment that I find out that what's happening between us is no longer between us, I can't fucks with you no more. Now, if it gets to a point where you and I want to take things a step further, we can reevaluate the situation. But as of right now, the only way this is going to work for me is if you make sure that whoever the fuck before, that you don't make them aware of what's going on because my reputation means a lot to me. So,
but niggas is just as messy, if not messier than females.
So if it finds out, if he runs his mouth, you be like, I don't fuck with bitch niggas, you're done.
No, and I get it, but I'm saying that to say this, that is also how you said, you're only a hoe if you start letting your business be known. Sometimes other people let your business be known when there was an established agreement in the beginning.
So let's fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the homeboy, new homie, right? Mm-hmm. That's knocking it down. You find out he says some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone sees y'all and they say some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says some shit and now the world knows that you was
fucking the homies.
That you fucking the homies.
All right.
Everybody knows you're fucking the homies, right?
Right.
You'd be like, listen, I'm not in a relationship with anybody.
It's my
and
pussy.
Who I choose to be with is my motherfucking business. And if you got a problem with it, step to me, nigga.
Yo, I hate that word. Pussy.
Okay. Let me reword that. Well, you said that word.
I know I did. I'm just saying. I'm saying it out loud now. Like I don't know why I hate that word.
You could just be like, look, who I choose to be with is my business. Second of all, I didn't go looking for nobody. Niggas came checking for me.
Oh,
Not that I owe you an explanation. And third of all, what I choose to do is my fucking business. If you want to make it yours, then step. What's up? What's up? Who want it?
Who want it? Who want what? Is there no one else? Is there not another homie?
I was just gonna say, is there another homie that wants some? Who want it?
I love it.
If you decide to do something like this, just understand the consequences that are involved and just always prepare yourself for that. You don't really owe an explanation to nobody. And needless to say, I mean, dudes have been doing shit like this for a long time.
Right, but that's my point. I think that guys tend to hold this over females' heads when they do things like this, but niggas do this shit on a regular. They will talk to you, be messaging your homegirl in the back end, and then do whatever the fuck they want with your cousin, and then have the nerve to be like, oh, but we was never nothing. But then a female does it, and it's a wrap.
What's the worst that could happen? The first homie decides he don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's okay.
Or try to put your business in the streets.
Pretty much.
You'd be like, enough information about homie number one that you can,
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of
it's childish.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like that shows a lot about someone's character too. I think that the way someone behaves when they're angry at you and the things that they choose to release information on or even try and expose you or talk negatively about you, I think that shows you what kind of character they always were.
Now, I do feel that it would be the female's responsibility in a scenario to properly assess whether or not homeboy number 2 is trustworthy, right? Mm-hmm. Make him beg for that shit.
Bug?
Make him beg for that shit.
Beg. And have receipts just in case.
Make him beg for that shit. Make him take you out to eat and be like, I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm kind of on the edge. It's a little risky. I'm not sure if I want that drama because I live a drama-free life. You know what I'm saying? And you just make him like work so hard to prove himself for it. And then, that even solidifies, it's going to put an impression in his mind that the only way I know her concern, and the only way this is going to work if I keep it on the low, and I don't want to fuck up a good thing. So it puts more pressure on him. If you give it up too easy, he's going to,
yeah.
You don't want that,
yeah.
Versus Blue's Clues. I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of ways you could play this, but ultimately just do what feels right for you.
Now, if it's your homegirl, and she was messing with someone, but I'm talking about like your home girl.
Okay.
And she was messing with someone, and that shit only lasted a couple of months and it didn't go anywhere. And then homie starts hollering at you and you guys have a lot in common. I think that you don't just I think that you don't just smash that person. No. I feel like you have every right as a friend to step to your homegirl and be like, listen,
that's a totally different scenario because you're looking at where your loyalty lies.
Exactly.
Right now, is it worth me sacrificing my friendship for some bum ass nigga that used to fuck with her?
No. Now, in the scenario with the homeboy, you hold no loyalty to the first guy because obviously you didn't work. So
unless
it's a little bit different. Exactly.
But which is unlikely.
Right.
But you're like, I don't know that nigga shit. I'm doing me. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if it's your people's, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's totally different liability dynamic.
Correct. I agree with all of that.
All right.
Boss up.
Boss up.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, I want to thank... Wait a minute. Yesterday, you said you want to talk about something that's been bothering you, but you wouldn't tell me what it was you wanted to talk about.
I did?
You said... on tomorrow's podcast, I want to talk about something that's been bothering me. And I said, what is it? And you said, I can't tell you.
Fuck, I forgot. I should have wrote it down.
I can't believe you. I've been waiting all fucking day for this
Watch
shit.
me remember after this.
All right. I want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of CO in Rome. We're going to have some details to follow about the 1 year anniversary. Please be aware that this will be taking place in the backyard of my residence. So I will not be publicly posting my address. So be prepared to stay tuned in to like our social media posts, listening to the show, because I'm going to find a way to kind of filter out who I feel comfortable giving my address to, whether it's you shooting me a DM if you're interested in coming, and then me shooting you back my address, because I can't have a bunch of crazies at my house.
Church.
You know what I'm saying?
And just know that if there is a bunch of crazies that ends up showing up, we bought that life, and so is everyone we roll with.
Yo, I mean, I'm already got the squad in my head.
Yep.
We gonna have roles. You know what I'm saying? Eyes everywhere, optics everywhere, fam.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. Love you. Talk to you. Oh, whoa. One more thing. I need to wish a very happy birthday to Johanny.
Yes.
Sorry that I couldn't make it to your birthday thing. We want to thank you for your support, and I hope you had a very wonderful birthday.
Yes, boo-boo.
All right, boo. We out here for real. See ya.
Bye-bye.